Then thank you, Master. Master Liu nodded softly. It's a little lonely on the face. He said, wait for us to survive. But that, even if you can't worship Master Zhuo's followers, the old man can do some work for him. It's also an honor. Divergent High nodded softly. In his eyes flashed TIA approves. This person is also a middle-aged person. But the sound of the other side is getting closer and closer. The sound of killing is relentless. Distracted High focused on looking ahead. Quietly waiting. Until the enemy gets very close. He shouted for an hour. Fly steady formation, so that our family can survive. Following this scream of his, everyone gathered in one place. The air suddenly burst out. The people who are coming can't even react. Was blown out. The whole world saw this scene. Rolling his eyes in anger. Look at the picture in front of you. After a long pause, he finally screamed a bunch of trash. Some people like that can't deal with it. A person next to him showed up. Say it around. Uncle Lamb. You can't blame them for this. It seems that the enemy has someone who understands the military deployment. We're completely inaccessible. It's like a 4-year fight. It's weird. What the hell is just military art? The cold wind gritted its teeth. The old man almost forgot. Little devil lost Kier. She has been alone for 5 years. It would be strange if that bit of bravery wasn't even there. Mother, of course. We can't let the world continue to grow. He immediately rushed to the place of the lost. Van High shouted. Little boy lost. The astonished man raised his head and called out to the entire room. The wind cracked its teeth in anger. Contempt, ridicule. This little trick. He wanted to break through the encirclement and go out in front of Lao Tzu. Is it too disdainful of Lao Tzu? Now Lao Tzu will cancel your battle first. Then take your head. In the blink of an eye, the whole world went to the center of the battle. People can't react in time. The same wind screaming a battle. His body escaped from hiding. Quickly take the people in the battle flying. The battle immediately collapsed. Sea color is unsightly. Fell on the ground watching the battle. The picture is broken silently makes a sound of pepper. 315 God of Destruction. Solved. Hordes of people. Once again he appeared in front of the ocean. Showing a cruel smile saying he. You boys are dead. Don't be stubborn. Wait for your head to come down. Make sure you give it as a gift. Don't know. It was time to see the head of my family. What kind of expression will he have? Ha ha ha. You have the liver. You are not afraid until then. What he tore wasn't just your leg. I can't help but laugh for an hour. On the one hand, he looks at him with contempt. The laughter immediately died down. My face in the blink of an eye. The road is one of the 6 longest. That's it today. Fell into the trap of a young emerging family. Contemptuously exposed the deep scar in his heart. I can't help but make him angry. 2 eyes suddenly cool red screaming. Rotten boy. You thought we couldn't do it for sure. Let me tell you the truth. We've had a plan for a long time. But I'm sorry, you won't live much longer. Panicked look at the person in front of you. There is a little urgency in my heart. This is his word. It doesn't look fake. Be quick to remind. Probably the best. He was in a hurry, thinking he was afraid of death. Laugh out loud immediately. Now the old man will take you down there first. Then let that bastard come and befriend you later. But don't worry. Respect her lonely face of heaven. I will make you whole. I just finished the whole thing without hesitation. There's a flicker of madness in my eyes. At this moment an old scream came out. Stop your hands and don't hurt your family. Follow the scream. It's a fire, suddenly towards the full-blown lamb. He was not afraid, but laughed for an hour. Just gently swinging, the thunderstorm immediately came. Let the fire fly. People also fly out. You can't take a sip of fresh blood. I laughed for an hour. He turned his head again to look at the cruel Van High. No one can save you now. Obedient to die. If you want to kill him, you have to kill me first. I don't know where it came from. Once again in front of the ocean. The whole world looked at her with contempt. This piece of trash dared to stop him. You are finding your own way to die. The focus is getting stronger. He cruelly spoke up. It's your fucking home again. He. Don't worry, even if you don't talk. He will also take your head. You two little devils died here for Lao Tzu. For great CA. The snow stopped and I was not afraid to die again. I just heard the most obvious name. Lin's body suddenly trembled. The fear of searching is certain. Where the hell is he? Nearby Sao. See this scene. The snow stopped laughing. Ha ha ha. Coward name. I knew you were scared of my dog. That's right, you fucking fool me. The ugly head will not appear. The Lord will kill you first. And then eat both of you alive. Be good and die for Lao Tzu, ha ha ha. She looked down on her face and looked at her. The more intense scrutiny once again struck down. I stopped feeling scared at the end. The whole world still has no reaction to the scream. Big warrant CA. She's still stupid. The most secure, wherever you are. I'll always feel she's in danger. Then the light will shine, and he will come to save her. But really out. Most likely it was just a coincidence. It's time she was in danger. She kept her faith in his protection. The future will be uncertain. Because there's no AI that's capable. They can appear at any time in time. Protecting a person in times of danger. Even if it is most likely full of people. Can't either. This time she is the most confident. Even though it didn't arrive in time, however, there was the courage to save her life again. Most people are probably on their way to this place. Always use the sense of observation. See a critical situation. You can use the second level magic. Break without coming. An invisible force flashing. Wink at the people in the forest. All the places it goes. Obstacles turn to nothing. In the paint cups, people are bumming and killing. I suddenly don't know why. All of a sudden, the chest is pierced through a big hole. Fresh blood flowed everywhere. The whole world saw this scene. The movement immediately stops in horror to speak the story. What is this story? At one point, people weren't very clear. It's probably on the other side. Take a deep breath. Use full body force. Towards the paint cup, screaming. Bastard lamb full fung. You dare to touch Lao Tzu's people. Stay there. Don't move, old man. Wait for Lao Tzu to come and twist your head. The wind heard the sound. The body is constantly trembling. Because this sound he's so familiar with. He's the one who tore his leg off. Around the sky that heart. He stammered in horror, saying he was. He really showed up. On the contrary, Van Hai lost and Wang stopped. Hearing the sound excited them. It's finally saved. Their guardian angel is finally here. A subordinate of Lin Feng stuttered in horror. Uncle Lin, about this. But when someone comes back to search this place, there is no longer the shadow of the wind. See this scene. The man immediately shouted, "Let's get out." According to his cry, people are scared to run away. When he saw it, he shook his head. The CA is the CA. Everywhere you go, it's perfect. It's like an hour to scare people. Afraid to run away. I can hear you also arrogantly nodding. It's like the person being praised is her. The two brothers saw this. The doctor shook his head. It seems to be getting deeper and deeper. Now in my heart, it must be like a god. It seems that every time I am in danger, he can show up in time. Yeah, that's definitely not a good sign. This is clearly a bad sign. Too dependent on one person. It will definitely bring death. Moreover, she does not measure herself. Clearly the power is not there. I don't think so, but I came to this place for fun. It's finding your own way to die. In other words, she is the proof of that. Enthusiasm plus ignorance by sabotage. Everyone was lucky to escape. A life in a hurry to collect 10 battlefields. Then treat each other. A moment later a thunderbolt thundered. The most beautiful image also appeared. I scan for sides. Probably the most aggressive to say again. The entire village has run away. Wait until you hit him next time. Lao Tzu is certain he will break his other leg. He later appeared in front of the old man. He can only crawl. He said, "Go to the side of the two lost people." Interested in saying so, Hai stopped me. You two don't know. I stopped seeing him coming. Please shake your head and rest assured. I know that in times of danger, you will definitely appear next to me. He said he was proud to bring the world out. Most people will probably laugh and not talk. At this time, the sea is next to me. He also directed him to laugh. Don't worry, tracked ICA. Later to drink the wine. Maybe it won't. Save master. Most likely, he looked at him. He looked up at me and said ha ha ha. For Master. Long time no see. How are you? Probably the most astounding. In his eyes flashed suspicion, or why he's here. It's not just students. 300 years old or younger of the family. I'm going to be a part of the show this time. Master Liu, how old are you? I'm sure you don't get me wrong. The old man is not a disciple. Join the 100 paintings Min. Just happened to come to King's son to pick medicine. Save the most hasty footcoat hand explained. It's such a coincidence. Most likely, he grinned and asked. Save the most feet nod, smile sincerely say. It's such a coincidence. Maybe this is the fate between me and Master Zhuo. Most likely, the cold refused to give an opinion. Don't make them. What fate does Lao Tzu have with you? But the devil wants to refuse. Not willing to, immediately raise the voice of the most noble foot. Father Dai Ca. In fact, this time you can be dangerous. A very large part of the reason it's thanks to Master Liu at your side for help. He really is the great benefactor of my family. I heard he admires you very much. Do you want to be a monk or? And he hasn't finished yet. Most likely, they lost patience. Cross-section towards the most saved foot says. Save most legs. Over so many years, you haven't stopped trying to make me a monk. Of course the master is a master. The most extreme is the practice of knitting. Among the old men I've met, you can worship the butler. It was really the old man's lifelong wish. Save the most sincere nod firmly replied. If that was the case. His evil eyes looked at him. Probably the best dressed person to speak up. We are missing people right now. Just in time to catch up. If in the 100 seconds of Min this time, you can protect the whole family. Success for the family, then we can consider the matter for a moment. The old man must give his all. Not to exceed the master's expectations. Save the most feet hurriedly reverently said. The most visible light in the eyes. A little bit of a rejection. Finally, scan your eyes towards everyone. Okay. I'll keep watch here. Hurry up and heal. Everyone nodded softly. The body is a monk's training. Save most legs. Immediately assigned to treat everyone. It is most definitely here. They are also safe and sound without fear of being disturbed. At the same time on the other side of the forest. People of the 7 kingdoms don't know when. Gathered in one place. Divided into 2 opposing sides. Look at the situation. The present is clear. On the right side of the worst. Has fallen into the underworld. The Holy Spirit takes a step forward. His cold eyes looked at the people opposite him. Disdained to say, how to? Last time you didn't realize. An ant can only be an ant. 316 blatantly usurped power. The people outside saw this scene. I despise the lips. Sweeping my eyes at everyone laughing and saying hey ha ha ha. Nothing more nervous. Let's see, Dan's body is ours. The people of Yumin Cup and enjoy lamb. According to the emperor, I am glad to hear this word. Watch them roll by the king. It's not wrong. On the other hand, there are the soldiers here. Bite your teeth angrily. It is said that the people who have the tendency get jerky godnit to capture the fairies. But they don't think about it. The monster of this land. Again blatantly blocking the way of plunder. It's too shameful. Unfortunately, there's no other way. This battle looks like there's no doubt about it. They will definitely lose. Jia Chongfeng saw this scene. Just a little bit of fun, that's right. On one side there's a monster, with the power of metamorphosis. The monster on the other side didn't make it. This situation is the most unfavorable. It is better to surrender. This word just came out. The faces of the 7 men immediately dropped. What he said is not wrong. At the Batchmin painting this time, there are 2 monsters on both sides. That's right now. Another monster that didn't see a sign. What is he doing? Why don't you go with the dance crew for a long time? Just a sentence of the sands of the wind. It rises up in everyone's heart. A ritual or... Inside, King Sun is standing in front of the sun. Most likely, the nose suddenly itches and sneezes. Suddenly there was a cold feeling in the back. Probably touched the nose. Face full of murder says AI is talking bad behind our back. That side. The Holy Spirit is constantly moving forward. Slow down. It's like holding it in your hand. On the opposite side of the city, everyone was staring at him. Every step backwards. Unconscious face stops being important. So he took a step forward. They take a step back. We are in a world where no one gives up. Hong Fu, but seeing this scene finally stopped. The corners of the mouth revealed a ray of arrogance. How far back do you want to go? Get the knitting god. I won't hurt you. Tend to bite your lips. And Ink kept silent. She doesn't want to leave no matter what. As long as she doesn't die. It's not easy to give it to him. Long Onion Van protects the people who dance long behind. Looking at the Hong Fu heaven laughing. Prince Hong Fu. What do you say? He is also the great prince of the emperor. Sao can face thickness wholesale. You can do the work of thieves like that. Even though Sao still has for more Dawn God. You can go find it. What must be stolen from us? However, the Holy Father did not notice. Laughing arrogantly said, "Ha ha ha. Long March Van, I know your mouth is sharp. The best is excuses. It's not wrong. King Mon, I have no desire to take the Buddha in your hands. But don't forget the 100 commentaries. According to the laws of nature, all treasures must belong to the strong. So we've taken all 5 of these knitting elves. It is best that you also give your staff raw. If not, how about a fight?" But his word is not over. God suddenly shouted a scream. He slashed a sword at him. The dog saw this scene and panicked. There was a cold sweat on my forehead. It's only been a few days, but the power of this death has increased by 1 level. But if it's like this, you can only bite the teeth. He bit his lip and then joined the fight. Scream for an hour. High assigned martial arts potential long anti-captain. Just for a moment, everyone immediately heard the dragon roar. I can't see the image of a dragon. Waiting for the invisible Kier. Go to the front of the sky. It goes into the ground. That one moment, the ground at the feet of Hong Fu Thantine, suddenly crumbling, a dragon appeared. Open your mouth to swallow him. But we didn't wait for the dragon to arrive. A thunderous sound reached everyone's ears. It exploded in the blink of an eye. Hong Fu serene surrounding the body emerged, sparkling needles. The title doesn't have any effect. On the other hand, it's a long way off. He flew out and spat a big gulp of blood. Difficult to kneel on the ground. One, thank God that I did not wait. Hold the sword in your hand. His mouth kept screaming. Not 09 dark consciousness power annihilation consciousness. This sword struck raw. It seems everything inside the angel also becomes nothing. Only this sword appears. The light illuminates the world. This is the martial art of the sword master. The strongest way of 009. A sword struck raw, destroy heaven, hit somewhere straight. Outside to observe the battle. Saw a sword this agitated, scream. The boy is good. The sword has already passed the Waifu. It's not far away. The emperor saw that and laughed with contempt. I've seen martial arts this powerful. That was so exciting. Is it your request with orders? Is it a little too low? Hear this word. The color of his face immediately dropped. Laughing for an hour. Of course I know. The king's son has a natural talent. But if you say no, in the face of this sword, the officer wants to help. I'm afraid it's a waste of energy. Well, we'll just wait and see. The corners of his mouth revealed a mysterious smile. The King of Heaven scoffed. It's like proof of what he said. Inside the battle, the sky is as if it has never moved. On for an hour. The light shows up again. A sword of the sky immediately exploded. He was also thrown out, spitting out a sip of blood on the ground. Injury is not mild. How is this possible? When I saw this scene, I was scared. The Emperor of Heaven said, smiling happily. Hey ha ha ha, please tell me the truth. The gift of my son. It's not a normal genius. It can't be compared. If we talk about power, 5 years ago, it's far beyond the old man. This word just came out. The army next door immediately fell into a state of terror. The power of the Holy Spirit. If you have been so strong, you will continue to fight. This moment, their last hope was not there. I'm afraid it's a lot less healing. He looked at his injured son, silently biting his lips, scolding a monster. But oh, one knows. Outside the mouth of Hong Fu, natural resources compliment his son. But in my heart, there's a lot of fear. This rotten boy. It's now the biggest threat to the subject. That's him. If only he could die in the most evil hands. How good it is. At the same time, inside the mountain, Hong Fu Thantine recovered Tay. He looked at the man on the ground, smiling. Ha ha ha, that's interesting. I can't believe it, in just a few short days, but your strength is advancing. Much stronger than the two behind me. Or you turn to me. Your future son will not harm you. The evil angel grinned and laughed. Speak up frankly. I am a sword servant. The alliance with AI is not yet our turn to decide. But the Lord slowly shook his head, smiling against the old. Whether it's the 7 kingdoms or the world, the future will belong to us. Those old men will have to go down the hole sooner or later. You care what they do, as long as you agree. And that means that the swordsmen are willing. That's it. End words. He looked back at the city and the mountain. Say you too. If you submit. Agreement, 100 families won't have to fight anymore. The 7 kingdoms are one family forever. His word just ended. The people who tend to face immediately terrified. Even outsiders are no exception. He blatantly declared that. He is almost unafraid of his power. This guy is so naughty. In other words, I'm afraid the inner court of the emperor is not as stable as the rumors. Your father fights for power. You can stand Sao. On the contrary, the elders of the emperor, to hear this word of him, arrogantly speaking very well. No tiger is the heir to our crown. This is the tradition of the emperor. Real. The face of goddess people according to this word. Immediately down. Angry to shiver. Gnashing teeth grinding up gas explosion. This son of a bitch. His father is not dead. Dare to stand up in front of everyone. It's worth dying for 327 animals. At the same time, from beginning to end watching this battle, again with a devilish smile, these 2 men were born to rival each other. Any AI is an unstoppable genius that is difficult to meet for thousands of years. Let them continue to fight like that. There's an injured person who died. It's a shame. He said. He suddenly took a breath, but very quickly regained the spirit of laughter. Or we could collect both of you. He bad as still stop the sky into real paint into tigers. These 2 natural enemies come together. Sooner or later there is a battle. This is the time for them to win. You can take the strongest name. The royal palace is here. I hear the worst words. The face is becoming more and more unsightly. One of the things he wants to do is make fun of it. I don't think about it that way. Directly with him replied. The more intense the attention. This time he really wanted to kill her. For a long time, he turned towards the people screaming. What are you doing there? They didn't even kill them. Be warned by his words. Yu Wuxian from Kier immediately just destroyed the centaurs surrounding them. At this time, the sea is ready to react. In the heart of the broken. Battle music cut off by the rustling sound of startled blood. Then the speed stopped. It seems to have been abandoned. Think about here. He hurriedly changed the battle of heaven and earth. Just for a moment, the 2 centaurs immediately fell into the fray. The lost side of Van Hai could not break through. On the contrary, Vu Sun could not enter. Temporarily in equilibrium. See this situation. The devil is in no hurry. No, not in. However, he was not in a hurry to calm down. Too many of us have dragged them to death. Look at them behind. Probably the most annoying. If these people can't break through, he can't escape either. You're being dragged to death by these people. Corners of mouth slightly tucked. The Holy Spirit points to the owners. tendency to genius. Laughing, ha ha ha. Sure. Now the boy wants to ride with those people. His eyes were a little tight. Probably the coldest laugh. With your condition, we will work with them. If you want to start early, start early. Ha ha ha, the guy really didn't move them. But you are different. The Lord is pleased to be in front of you. Trample them once. The Holy Father did not notice the laughter. This word is most likely to go down immediately. My mother guessed wrong. The Holy Spirit kept these people. It is to conquer. He couldn't let him look out the window again. Thought. I smile with a cold demonic smile, said Prince Hongfu. You think I'll be there for them? No, at least not your boss. The lost sea is still in there. In my eyes flashed a ray of light. The Holy Spirit is like seeing through. He lifted his feet and rushed towards the other side of the battle. See this scene. In my heart rise up urgently. The worst of the world quickly rushed to stop. Just like that, the two men officially handed over a few tricks. People who want to go, people who want to fall into this world for a while. The Holy Spirit has achieved its goal. I can't help but laugh. Hee-ho. You finally can't hold your hand. And he said, let's go. An intense right towards the most universal. Face transformation. The worst in the blink of an eye disappears. One of them hit the ground. A loud roar echoed through the region. For a moment in the dust. The two sides caused such intense panic. Everyone fell into a panic. I saw a moving guy. The worst of the world is not free from fear. How powerful is this? It can create such power. If you fight with him, they really don't win. So you have to retreat first. Raise your head a little. The Holy Father spoke of ridicule. Maybe now I want to move forward. I don't know if you can stop me. In the eyes unconsciously condense, the worst of all, bite your lips and keep going. But every time, they are all trying, slowing down the speed of the Holy Spirit. Y relies on permutation topography that avoids escape, but minor injuries are inevitable. Hongfu and Thien constantly missed. Face down and say, you are in a hurry. Even if you dodge one of my blows. But don't expect to be comfortable every time. Over here, watch the two men. The dragon could not help but swallow a gulp of saliva. It's hard to speak up. Maybe even a human. They can't resist the power of God. The Dragon King. She just wants to see what she wants to do. She is also very worried about him. For a long time she hurried to speak. Maybe it's because we're sure he is. The Emperor has restrained himself. We need to break through the perimeter quickly. When people hear this, they react. Then out, they have become the heaviest burden of all. There's a little shame on my face. The village of Dung Hai frowned helplessly and sighed. But now we're screwed here. The enemy is several times stronger than our own. It's hard to get out of the bind. You have to do something. This word just came out. Everyone fell into despair again. We can only sigh together. The tendency to think.